Hi, my name is Loricia Pacholko. I am a Winnipeg-based artist. I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself so that when you come to the art show, you'll have some insight as to the work and the forms and how they were created. I'm a Winnipeg-based artist who grew up in Alberta and came to Winnipeg when I married a gentleman in the military. Art school was something that I enjoyed from high school on. I've been creating work for as long as I can remember. And my journey as a female and an artist and a mother has spanned a number of decades at this point in my life now. Of course, with that comes some unsuspecting challenges and some very personally disturbing realities. How does one work through those situations in a way that helps you cope? And my art has definitely been that for me. I attained my degree through the University of Manitoba, and I was on that 20-year program. So I started, left, went back, started again, and graduated in 2017 as a mature student. I did go through a divorce, and I have 3 daughters. So my work as a mother and an artist does bring into it elements of family and motherhood. The experience with Latent Injuria is sort of a testament to some of those experiences as a mother, as a woman, as a child dealing with older men, some very negative and traumatic situations that have occurred in my life. So at 51, after graduating at 50, I knew that I had another challenge that happened at university that I was kind of sidelined with. And after a year of struggling, I just realized I'm at the age where I don't care what anybody thinks anymore. I'm not trying to impress anybody, and I'm just being as authentic as I can be with my art practice. So Latent Injuria celebrates the ability to overcome, adjust, and adapt. I made these bullet forms literally in a week, 3 weeks before a show. So my pottery wheel actually broke down, and I had a friend, Michelle, generously lent me her garage in October to throw these forms for a show that was taking place in 3 weeks in November. It was a very cathartic, creative session. I was throwing to the point where I had no fingernails left and my fingers were actually bleeding trying to make these pieces. So there was a sacrifice that actually kind of took place in the process, a testament to many things, but the idea that it's a bullet form in and of itself talks to, as women, how negative comments and situations are basically shot at us, and we're supposed to just remove the bullet and suck it up and accept an apology like "I'm sorry" is going to fix everything. But there's a hole that's left. So each bullet represents those holes for me through the last 5 decades of my life. Each one is an experience, good, bad, ugly, all of the above. The thing with my art is I like the interaction that occurs with the viewer. We're not supposed to touch art, and I like the idea that I can kind of bulk the norm and encourage people to have an intimate experience with my work, especially because it's 3-dimensional. You're not just looking at it, you can actually pick it up. COVID has actually added another element, of course, to the show that I didn't anticipate, because now people actually have to put gloves on, and it's almost like an archaeological sort of forensic experience that happens with looking at these forms. And I actually like that part. Even COVID aside, I think down the road, that's how I want the viewer to experience them. So they're touching them, but there's still a barrier that keeps a bit of a private sort of a glove over my vulnerabilities that I'm showing with the bullets too. The objects themselves, the form is very masculine, but a lot of the interiors relate to a lot of feminine ideas. They're ceramic thrown forms with found objects, some text inside. Some of the pieces actually have my own hair. So there's a gamut of materials. When I was filling the materials, it was a very fast process. I made extra pieces in case some did happen to get broken or dropped during a show. And even if that were to happen, I'm okay with that, because that's the vulnerability of sharing with the viewer. And I would just repair them, glue them back together, and they would just continue with the show if that were to happen. One of the things about art, is the emotional connection that it can carry with someone. And they are most of my pieces do have some sort of narrative that tells a story. I like that people can connect to that sharing, having a voice to, situations that generally aren't spoken about. And this idea that, suck it up, buttercup, I don't believe in that. People's experiences are valid, and I hope to encourage those sort of discussions that can come from the objects themselves. So I hope you enjoy the show.